Welcome back to First Sound at Inside the Pylon. My name is Mark Schofield. Today I'm going to take a look at Stanford quarterback Kevin Hogan and talk for a few moments about play speed. Play speed is a trait that when you're evaluating quarterbacks, there are sort of two components that you look at. There is a physical component and a mental component. The mental component kind of talks about and gets to the ability to process information quickly for the quarterback to see and recognize the coverage pre-snap and post-snap if there are adjustments to it, understand the play concept, the play scheme, the situation, the progression reads, and make a quick decision with the football. There's also a physical component to that, usually talking about the throwing mechanism. A quick release is what you're looking for here. Think of quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers and Dan Marino that can get the ball out extremely quickly once they've decided where they're going to go with the football. Talking about Kevin Hogan, play speed and throw in motion don't really kind of match up well. Hogan has a bit of an elongated delivery in his throwing mechanism. He draws the ball back a bit, more than a bit perhaps, and then comes forward with his throw and release. It reminds me, a Red Sox fan, of Keith Foulke, the former Oakland A's and then Boston Red Sox closer, who had a similar throwing mechanism when he would enter into the games in the 8th and 9th innings. He would draw back with the arm and then come forward. Hogan has a similar sort of elongated delivery. But don't forget that there's a mental component to this as well. Now we're going to look at a play from Stanford's game this season against Notre Dame. It was a thrilling finish, and it stands out, this ability of play speed on one of the plays from those final few plays in that game. As you can see, Notre Dame has a 1-point lead over Stanford at this point. There are 15 seconds left in the game. The Cardinals have both their timeouts but face a 2nd and 10 on the 43-yard line. They line up with 11 personnel on the field. They have a tight end and a receiver on the left side. There's the tight end, receiver here, and then an inverted slot to the right. Notre Dame has a rather interesting defense in the game. It's a 4-2-5 nickel personnel, but what they do is they take one defensive lineman, they drop him here, two linebackers are here, and then they've got the nickel back here, and then the other four defensive backs in sort of a 2-high, cover 2, cover 4, almost like a prevent style look, and you can see how deep these defenders are. Looking at the play art, we're going to get a vertical route from Stanford's receiver over here, the Z receiver, and the other three receivers are going to execute sort of an NCAA concept. That's a route structure that incorporates a post, a dig, and then a shallow underneath crossing route. We're going to get the post route from the slot receiver here, the dig route on the other side from the tight end, and then the shallows coming from this receiver split out wide. Given the information we have from the play design and everything, it looks to be that the primary target for Hogan here is going to be the post route here. Now what I'm going to do is run through this, and the last piece of information to understand is Hogan's going to execute a 3-step drop. For a right-handed quarterback, a 3-step drop, whether you're starting from shotgun, pistol, or under center, one right foot back, crossover with the left, another right foot, hitch, gather, and throw. That's sort of the procession of steps, if you will. But let's run through this and see how Hogan runs this play. This is a very big gain for the Stanford Cardinal, and it gets him into field goal range. What I want to do now is show you Hogan executing another 3-step drop from earlier in the game. It'll kind of help to illustrate the point here. He's going to throw a vertical route to this receiver down at the bottom of the screen. Again, he's going to work off a 3-step drop. But what you're going to see here is a much more textbook 3-step drop. Right, left, right, hitch, gather, throw. It's exactly how you would coach it. And it'll help illustrate what the play speed that I'm talking about when we go back to the first play and take another look at it. So let's watch Hogan. Here's his 3-step drop from earlier in the game. Right, left to right, hitch, gather, and throw. That's exactly how you want to do it. Now coming back to Hogan again, we'll slow this down. But before we run through it, let's again look at the information available to the quarterback before the play. Again, 2-high safety look. Cornerbacks, deep cushion, well off coverage. Now let's look at the nickel cornerback here. See his relationship to the slot receiver. The nickel corner, he's right on the hash mark, shaded perhaps a bit towards the outside, towards the sideline. By alignment and position on the field, that slot receiver is inside of the hash mark. So Hogan now knows he's got too high safety look. His primary target here already has inside leverage on that defender. So this is pre-snap a good place for Hogan to go for the football. And in the NCAA concept, it's a high-low read. So that's going to be his first read. You're going to want to get the ball to that post route. If it's not there, then it'll come next to the dig, and then finally the shallow in his progression reads. But as the play unfolds, Hogan's going to look to that route first, takes his first step back, and he sees now this defender, as you watch him, he's going to slide out just a bit to the outside. Right there. Hogan's already cut his drop off. That's play speed. That's mental processing. Because he knows that he can execute his typical three-step drop, right, left, right, hitch, gather, throw. But by that time, this guy might slide back over. These defenders might jump on it. He knows at this point, that guy's open. I got to get this ball out. So he cuts everything short and gets the ball out as quickly as he can. He takes a deep drop and drives the ball into that thrown window. Let's look at it again. He takes that first step, sees what he's got, cuts it short, and gets it out as fast as he can. Hogan knows that the best way for them to make a play right now is for him to get that ball out. His receiver's got inside leverage. It's the right read. It's a chance for a big play against a too high look. You love that idea of a post route against a too high safety look. Post receiver's got inside leverage. There's no point really in waiting to get the ball out. Play's not going to get any better. It looks as good as it does at that point. So Hogan speeds out, sees the play, plays with great play speed on this snap. Cuts his drop a little bit short, but it works to perfection. He gets the ball out. Stanford gets a big play and it puts them in position for the game-winning field goal. Thank you for watching this edition of First Sound at Inside the Pylon. My name is Mark Schofield. I'd invite you to take a look at our website, InsideThePylon.com, for more content such as these videos, as well as our glossary articles and our daily content. Thank you.